これがだ
Hello everybody and welcome back to custom Jojo Lego minifigures. I know it's been a while since I've last done this, but I don't think that's too big of a deal, so I guess let's just jump into this. Oh, and also this is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2 Battle Tendency, the collection. Alright, and first up we have the man, the myth, the legend, Joseph Joestar. Now, Joseph is actually one of the most simple characters I've done so far, but despite that, he took me a very long time. I honestly don't know why that is. It just seemed to take a while to finish off, but every aspect of him was extremely simple and didn't take that much from me to make. But I mean, let's just start off with his accessory. You know, from the episode against Drazo, he used the Tommy gun. Decided it'd be kind of funny to give him that. Seems as some of the paint is coming off from his hand. What a shame. But I mean, his scarf, I use these labels, these sticky labels. It's the ones I used for some other characters, but what I did, I added a coat of some lime green, and then I added stripes of the yellow, and then I just put it on him, and that's like that. For his hands, I just used a black hand piece, and I colored some of that skin tone on there. For his pants, I just used a plain Lego navy blue pants. I painted that part, the underwear part as I call it. I painted it brown all over, and then added the belt buckle, also just some black for his boots. For his torso, I painted it with a dark green, and then I painted the skin tone because his stomach shows in the anime and in the manga, and then I painted over some of his muscles and his abs. They didn't come out as good as I hoped they would come out, but that's fine, I guess. His arms just used regular Lego arms that happened to be that skin color. Didn't paint those at all. His face I painted over. I was trying to get him to smirk, and even though I wasn't able to achieve that, I still think it came out pretty well. The eyebrows especially, I think by far these are the best eyebrows I've done out of all characters. And everyone's been wanting to hear from me from the start because of the way it looks, the hairpiece. This is the only complex part of this figure, and nothing else is complex. What I had to do, I took a hairpiece. Let me get it. Here we go. I took this hairpiece, only in a different color. I basically put putty all over it, and then what I had to do with this putty, clay putty, whatever you want to call it, get in frame there, I had to basically take a bunch of tiny bits of it, roll it into into the strands of hair, and I had to individually put each one on. I used a pin to stick them on and squish them on so they would stick and they wouldn't fall off. And it took a while. Getting the right shaping and sizing and putting each on took a very long time. Also, I am extremely happy with the way it turned out. I did not think it was going to be this good, and I am extremely proud of it. But there's one issue I have with it, and that it is extremely delicate. I can barely touch it with it actually taking a different shape or a form, to the point where I couldn't actually put the hair on Joseph all the way, because as you see with the hairpiece, god damn it, move Joseph, you see, I basically put putty on here and on here, as you can see with Joseph. And I covered that hole there, but that meant that the putty would be on this side and it would hit Joseph's face when I was putting the hairpiece on. And because it was sticky, I couldn't actually slide in the hairpiece all the way without it sticking. Which is why it looks like this, and it isn't actually pushed down all the way, which is a pretty big problem, because it kind of makes him look a bit off. But it still looks good. I thank God it still looks good. I was able to push it down a little bit more to make it like this, and though it doesn't look perfectly on him, it still looks decent, I'd say. But other than that, there's no actual issues. If you want one more look at him, also with the scarf, it's on the other side too. I can't really take the scarf off because it's sticky at the top. I guess you can kind of see some of that. Yeah. And that is the legendary Joseph Joestar. On to the next one. Oh yeah, also forgot to mention, I did Joseph in the past. I guess trip down memory lane. I did my first figure, Josuke, almost a year ago now. And after him, my second figure was Joseph Joestar. It is not this same Joseph Joestar I'm showing you, because that Joseph Joestar is, well, as Thanos says, gone, reduced to atoms. Funny Avengers reference. Haha, laugh now. Hey guys, laugh, guys, it's funny. But basically, it was horrible. I'll put a picture up on screen now because it is gone. I destroyed it completely. As you can see in the picture, pretty much the only thing that was right is Joseph's skin tone. Nothing else was right. The scarf was a dark green instead of a lime green, which is wrong. It was also completely wrong not color. It was wrong color, but it was the wrong shape. It was like way too thin, as you can see in the picture. The gloves I did brown. I didn't even paint on his skin where his fingers show. The pants I actually did wrong as well, believe it or not, which is crazy. But on top of that, boots are brown color. No belt, because I was lazy again. His torso was gray, and the reason for that is because I couldn't seem to get the right shade of green for his torso when I was doing it. I specifically remember like mixing so many colors and so many combinations, and I couldn't seem to get it, so I just went for his look in the manga in some panels where it's gray. And yeah, for his skin, I didn't even do it all the way around him. I only did it in the front. Plus, it was the wrong shade. It was far too dark. It looked more like Cars' skin rather than Joseph's. For the face, I didn't even do the face because it was my second figure and I didn't know how to do faces at the time. So I just used the plain Stormtrooper face. Isn't that just amazing? And then also for the hair wasn't too good. I remember being super proud of the hair, and now I just want to see my past self, just look at this figure now, and just like compare the two, and and he'll probably like think to himself, never mind, this is not good anymore. But yeah, because the picture is pretty old and blurry, it's not like a picture I took recently. That picture was from a year ago. It's a picture I sent to my friend after finishing the photo. It's a scroll very, very far to get that picture, just so I can show you guys. But all the hair was just like going to one side, and it wasn't like scattered like how Joseph's hair actually is. Though Joseph's hair is majorly going to the side, but it's, as you can see, in like pictures where he faces the front, you can see it's mostly scattered. So that was pretty inaccurate as well. And overall, the character and the figure just wasn't very good. Originally, after finishing Caesar and Cars, which, haha, warning or disclaimer. Those are the other two figures gonna be featured in this video. After finishing them, I was gonna make this video, but then I took a big, long look at Joseph, and then I threw him in the trash can. Not literally, just figuratively. But I ended up just redoing him completely from scratch, because it just wasn't good enough, I guess. Another funny story, I ran out of navy blue legs. This isn't mine. This is one I borrowed from my brother. Isn't that just amazing? The last navy blue legs I have were used on, I think, Crazy Diamond. I'm not really sure. I don't remember, to be honest, but they're gone now. All the ones I have left have prints on them. No plain ones. So, isn't that just amazing? I guess we're not gonna get an Okuyasu in the future, I guess. I don't really know. But whatever. This is Joseph Joestar, folks. Enjoy, and on to the next figure. Next up, we have the best Joe in the entire series of Jojo. If you are angry at that remark, come fight me. I'll give you my address. Come fight me. We'll fight over who the best Joe is. Though I'm not saying from the alternate universe. Only the main universe he's the best. Gyro has my heart.
Bro, what did you just say? You're gay! He's gay! I'm not gay. He's gay!
But anyways, let's just get on to Caesar. Caesar is a bully, folks. Let's just start with the face, I guess, because that's what I'm least proud of. The face is actually something I redid 3 times. First time it came out bad, second time it came out bad. And then, actually, second time it was good, but the eyes were far apart, way too far apart. So what I planned to do originally, erase one eye and move it closer. And guess how that went? Not good, because I accidentally twitched my thumb and I cannot speak English. Black paint splattered all over the face and onto everything. So I had to completely redo it, which sucks. And even after all that, it's not perfect, but after that, I did not want to redo this a 3rd time because I was afraid that it might happen again. Yeah. The eyes are still a bit too far apart, but I think it's fine. Eyebrows don't really show, but they're like angry eyebrows. And then the mouth is a frown. I wasn't trying to do a frown, but that's just what came out, and I do not want to redo it, like I said. Bandana, holy crap. I also, just like with Joseph's scarf, I used the labels for the bandana, but I used like 6 or 7 labels for this tiny thing because of how much I messed up. You have no idea how long that thing took me. Because paint, I couldn't paint it because of how small it was. Hold on, let me get here. This is what I used to paint this push pin. This is what I used to paint. Sometimes, oops, god damn it. Okay, found it. Sometimes I use toothpicks as well, but this is what I mostly used to paint. So, this thing is too big for these triangles. The bandana, here, let me get Joseph, as you can see. Look at the difference of thickness between the bandana and the scarf. And even with Caesar's scarf, that is much thicker. Look at that. I, for the life of me, could not paint that precisely. Those triangles were super tiny, and even though I had the right colors, I just couldn't do it. I tried so much. Even with there's one attempt that was really close, but it was still kind of messed up and bad and kind of smudged. But I still waited for it to dry, and I thought maybe this could actually turn out good. And then while I was checking if it dried, I touched it, and it wasn't dry, even though it's been like 20 to 30 minutes, and it should have been dried. And it got smudged, and it was ruined. Isn't that amazing? So I gave up, and I used markers. Yep, markers. That's what I ended up using. But whatever. And even with the markers I used were like fat markers, so because those are like all I had. So it was pretty hard to actually do like small triangles. So you can clearly see like what I ended up doing is just doing like huge triangles and then cutting out the bottoms and the tops just to make them look small. And this is how it turned out. It's not the best, but it works out. And then I used the labels as well for the scarf. Only his scarf is just pink and nothing else. His scarf turned out much worse than Joseph's, but that's mainly because that's just how it is in the anime and in the manga. His scarf, you don't actually get to see much of it because it's like under his jacket or whatever he is. With Joseph, it's like over his shoulders and you can actually see it, which is why I had to do it like this rather than actually putting it like on his hands like with Joseph over here. But it turned out fine, I guess. His hair, I just used that one hairpiece, didn't color it or anything like that because it didn't need that. And then I pretty much covered every single bit of him for his torso and his legs and arms. Basically, this is not how he actually looks, but this is the closest I could have done. Where on his legs, you can see like his shoes are like dark blue, and he has like this blue that's like his coat that's like right above it, like on his ankles. I don't really know what it is, but I'll show a picture on screen. I'm not sure what it is. And then like he has like these blue knee pads as well, but I couldn't do them because these were already way too high up. So I ended up, because they would have looked weird on here, because this is like supposedly like a thigh or something. This is like supposed to be thighs of a Lego figure. So it wouldn't really make sense if it was right there, if you know what I mean. But other than that, it looks decent. Also, I was too lazy to actually color underneath, so it just looks like that. And you can actually see like the original light blue color that I used under there. But whatever. And for his arms, God, these took so long because of how much I messed up. I did them in the first try, and then for some reason I kept smudging them because of my hand. It kept being really shaky and twitchy. So I had to do those multiple times over. Same with his gloves, but those turned out pretty good, I'd say. His torso, there's not much to it, I guess. There's the white there, the coat, and then he has like this gray thing on his chest. I'm not really sure what that's all about, but see, the thing about it is there's like supposed to be muscles that show, but because he has like multiple like layers of clothing, Caesar's muscles don't really show. So I didn't actually do his, unlike Joseph, who only wearing like a tank top and nothing else. But the thing is, I was still gonna put some muscles where you could see, because in the picture that I'm putting up on screen, you can see on the gray part here, you can see some muscles. And I was gonna do those, but I ran out of time, number one, and when I got some more time the next day, I was too lazy. So I didn't end up doing that. Caesar took way too long because of how many times I messed up and smudged parts of him, which is why I just gave up in the end. You know? I don't know. Finally, back to his bandana. The thing took so many times to just try to put on him. You can clearly see, like, it's going up straight here and then just, like, dips because of the bangs or whatever from the hairpiece. I couldn't put it on because, like, there's a part of his hair that goes over the bandana and then there's a part that goes under the bandana, which is why it's like this. But because of the way the hairpiece is, I couldn't really do that, so I had to kind of ruin it. Like, if I take the hairpiece off now, which I won't, most likely the bandana in this area was actually gonna rip. And I'm pretty sure the eyebrow on that side is completely gone, or even like smudged or something, I don't really know, because of the hairpiece. But she's a salad. How funny, Jojo. Alright, on to the final figure. And now we have Lisa Guitar Legs Guy Cars, the Ultimate Life Form. This isn't actually his Ultimate Life Form version, but whatever. Oh yeah, one more thing. With Caesar, he has no accessory like Joseph's Tommy gun. And the reason for that is because I didn't have anything I could give him. I didn't have like a top hat that I could give him that like belonged to William Zeppeli. Couldn't give him like Hamon because I don't actually have any pieces that would look like Hamon. Couldn't give him Bubbles because I don't got that either. So nothing for Caesar. Same thing with cars, but he has these, so those count. I counted those as an accessory, but we'll get to those later. Cars, cars, cars. The hairpiece I used, I'm not sure what the hair is from originally, but it was a hairpiece I just found lying around, and I used it. Quick coat. I added 2 coats of purple color. Yes, purple paint. 2 coats of purple paint just to like make sure that it actually looked decent. And then what I did, I completely all over added that dark, that like tannish color because he's a human. He's like a pillar man or whatever. So because yeah, I don't know, whatever. I had to add that all over him, which made it really difficult to put the hairpiece on because there's a huge layer of paint covering it. So like if I take the hairpiece off, just like with Caesar, which I'm not gonna do that. It'll like on the back, it'll look horrible. It'll look like throw up probably. But muscles, comparing them to Joseph's, they came out much better. Not that much better though. His this black thing on top of here is that little like scarf thing he had around his neck. I don't really know what that is, and you can like see part of it on there as well. And then his horn, I added that because it made sense too. For his face, the eyes, focus, trash camera. Okay, I guess it doesn't want to focus. For his eyes, they came out a bit too small, but they're pretty good, I'd say. Same goes for the mouth and the eyebrows. Eyebrows also came out too small, but that's fine. I originally wanted him to be smirking, just like with Joseph, but again, it didn't turn out very well. So it seems like I can't make figures smirk properly, but whatever. Arms, well, they just didn't take that much. Just like I said before, added that tan on it, and that's really it. Also, we get some more laziness here. As you can see, completely messed up on the black there. This thing is like the thing that covers up his genitals, but I kind of messed it up, and while I was trying to fix it, this is how it came out. So it's not perfect, but it's fine, I guess. And then his shoes with his like weird silver thing, or like gray thing that's above his shoes. I don't really know what that is. And then I guess we'll get to his, what do you call this? The light mode thing. The whatever, I don't care what it's called. But what I did with these, I took like I took some piece that was like this rock climbing thing. I don't really know what it was. I chopped off the actual like blade of it, and what I did, I had 3, so I took 2. I took them off, I painted them, and then I glued them on here with Gorilla Super Glue. Not sponsored, by the way. I wish it was sponsored. Imagine how much money I'd get if I was sponsored by Gorilla Glue, honestly. But actually, after I put these on and I finished the entire figure, I showed it to my mom. And while she was examining it, this thing fell off right as she touched it. So apparently the glue wasn't fully dried at that time. But for some reason, it was only this one. This one was dry, but this one wasn't. Even though I put this one on before this one, which is mad stupid, but whatever. Then I had to put it back on. And that's that, I guess. Took a short time to explain cars compared to Joseph and Caesar. But whatever. And that's cars. Now, I don't think I'm gonna do any more Battle Tendency figures just because there isn't really anyone I could do. The only people I could do is Lisa, Wamu, and ACDC. Lisa, and ACDC didn't have that huge of a role, I guess, in Battle Tendency. Plus, they're like less significant from Wamu, so I don't really have a reason to do them. Making Wamu the only one I would actually do, but I have no interest in doing them or doing him because really there's a lot of parts of him I have no idea how I'm gonna do. Like that weird like line that's across his face would be super precise and hard to do. Plus his like hair thing, the thing that's on his head or whatever it is, like the veil that's on him. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. So yeah, plus I don't know I don't really know how I'd incorporate his ability, his like wind mode thing. So I'm not gonna do him. But so far, you guys have seen all my figures. There's no actual figures I have done that I haven't showed on this channel. These are all my figures so far, and I will be doing more in the future. Now, the issue with that is school starts for me in like a little bit over a week. So, I don't really know how I'm gonna have time to do a lot of figures. I guess on the weekend I could do them, but then I have homework and stuff. So I'll figure it out. But what I am planning to do, and I actually kind of have ready to do, I want to do it today, but after doing Joseph and Caesar and stuff, it took forever. I don't really want to do it, and I'm lazy, like I said before. So I'm putting him off, and I will be doing him next month, maybe, or next week, I don't know. Most likely next month, because I'm going to need a bigger break from the figures. As you can see, my last break was very long, so yeah.